everyone, it's me, Krista. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If not, welcome for the very first time to my little art corner here on YouTube. Today we are going to be playing around with the colored pencils that came in the March 2020 sketchbox once again. If you guys watched the previous video, you know that I had some issues with the chameleon ones specifically, and that I wanted to play around with them a little bit more to see if there were ways to use them better. As for the subject, I decided to do a bit of a fan art. I decided to draw Delirium from Neil Gaiman's Sandman comic book series. That comic book series has been picked up by Netflix to become a TV show, which I am actually quite excited about. I've been waiting for an adaptation of it for a little while now. I'm also wondering if there's going to be a Lucifer crossover. Kinda hoping there will be. We will see. The character I'm drawing, usually she's shown with half her head shaved. I decided not to do that. I just wanted to let her have wild, crazy hair, do some spirals, and make sure she had her different colored eyes, her heterochromia going on. For this project, I am still using the Strathmore Bristle Vellum, the 4x4 artist tile. And I started by drawing some lines with a ruler so I could find the middle of the paper. I started the sketch by using the chameleon colored pencil in soft shell and then went over it with light coral. And I'm going to gradually, but pretty messily, be building colors and using a very, very light touch. I didn't try to blend quite as much with this one as I did with the previous project, which was of the cacti on a cliffside. I learned during the last project that it was probably better just to let these colored pencils be messy, do some very light layers, but to not try to blend them too darn much. They didn't seem to want to cooperate with doing that last time, so we're not going to try to do it this time. For the shadows on her face, at this point in time, I am using the Russet Brown, which is the Tombow Iroji 10 in Russet Brown. It has kind of a purplish tint to it, so it is good for pale skin tones to do some light shadows on. For the darkest points of the shadows, I will be going in with the Pine and Chameleon and then Caribbean Sea from the Chameleon colored pencils. To tone both of those colors down, I also pull in the English Red from Cretacolor, which I still really like this one. It's super pigmented, both the Cretacolor ones are. Love them. They're great. I also end up pulling in some of the lighter blues from Chameleon into various points of the skin tone, and the Yolk Yellow from Tombow, and the yellow and white from Chameleon in the skin tone. Using a bunch of different colors like this and gently layering them helps give a little bit more depth. I love color. I grew up watching Rainbow Bright. This character's supposed to be a very colorful person. We go in as much color as we can with what we got here. Friendly reminder, the whites from Chameleon is not a pigmented enough white to pull straight up white back. It is good for lightening up the other colors though. I mostly use it between the highlights and the lighter areas of color I have as a transitional sort of shade. Helps just lighten it up and make it a little bit smoother looking, just a tad. And all those same colors I will be pulling around to the neck and shoulder area. In the hair, at this point, I am mostly just going to be using that Cretacolor in English Red. Really love it. I think it adds the vibrancy and wildness that this character definitely has. I also put in little outlines of spirals using one of the blues that came in this set. Don't remember which one, but it was one of them, darn it. I wanted to experiment with layering a little bit more and having the hair show through, but also having a blue spiral on top of it and seeing how well it would show up against that super pigmented Cretacolor in English Red. And I got to use that Tombow mono eraser a little bit more, the one that had the sanded side and then the rubber side to the eraser. I needed to clean it off before using it on this project because I think there's some leftover color from last time that spread around a little bit. At this point, I am adjusting her features a little bit. I wanted her to look more like she was smirking or smiling. Give her a little bit more emotion on the face so she's just not a dead-eyed girl just staring right at you. I personally do that a lot when I create. I adjust small things as I go and move the facial features around quite a bit. I know that's not everyone's preferred method. A lot of people feel it's better to... Some people are a little bit more rigid about the creative process. They like making sure that they have every single line exactly where it's supposed to be in the final product. that kind of way of working, for things like this, that just doesn't gel for me. If you're doing a portrait of someone specific and you need the features to look exactly the same, for sure you need to make sure you're that precise. With something like this, I wanted it to be looser, and a lot of my stuff I like it being looser. It's just how I work. Everybody's different. I subscribe to the belief that there's no real right way or wrong way to do stuff, and a lot of learning is stumbling through it anyway. I personally learn from making mistakes and trying to analyze past projects, past drawings, past paintings, and figuring out what's not quite right about it, and trying to apply those lessons I've learned to future projects. Let me know in that comment section down below how you work, what kind of methods help you create. What's your layout? What do? Do you listen to music while you're doing stuff? Do you have to have everything set up in a very specific way, or do you kind of stumble through it like me? I want to know, I'm genuinely curious. Now let's get back into that drawing. At this point, I am just adding a bunch of really messy lines for the hair, doing it once again in that English red, and then I'm going over it with the green, the dark green, I believe it is Pine from Chameleon. I also did a hint of a fishnet top, and I will be doing a double necklace situation by using that pine green as well. At certain points, I also pulled in powder blue into the skin tone to help cool down some of that warmth. Also, using that blue helps pull in some of the background color into the skin tone, because skin tones naturally reflect light that's around them and colors that are around them. I also use that pine color for a lot of line work. Use it to help define her features a little bit more, add a little bit more depth to the hair, and for the spirals, I definitely used that. I used a teal and some other blues to make them pop out just a little bit better. I wanted to pull in the spirals because they are definitely associated with this character. Certain fish are as well, and I tried to give insinuations of the fish. I did a little bit with the eye makeup, and I tried to do one in the hair, and I end up abandoning it later. It just wasn't quite working out the way I wanted it to. Maybe another time. And I wanted the color application to be really rough, partially because I like how it looks, and I think it works best with the chameleon colored pencils, but also because I feel that it embodies the chaotic energy this character has. Not gonna lie, drawing this makes me want to reread the entire series again. It's about time. It's been a couple years. I usually do it every so often. I do end up cheating and pulling in some non-colored pencil supplies here. I felt that she needed some pupils and we needed some better, whiter highlights going on. So I pull in a black pen and some white gel pens. The black pen I pull in is a Pentel Arts Hybrid Technica 0.4mm. I'm running low on this, so I'm going to probably need to buy a new one soon. I use that pen for the pupils of the eyes, and I also use it to add some darker lines in various specific areas of the drawing. I also pull in a Sakura white gel pen and another white gel pen, and the second one is a Marvy Reminisce gel pen. The Sakura one just wasn't getting white enough in certain areas. The Reminisce one definitely worked. Like with any white gel pen and colored pencil, you do have to intermittently clean off the tip because it will clog it up a little bit. Some of the waxy residue gets on there, and the gel from the pen will no longer come out. And we want it out there on that darn paper, so you gotta clean it off. I'm very happy that I decided to pull in the pens. Just pulling in that little bit of black and that white helped make the drawing feel less flat. I thought it brought a lot of life, especially in her eyes. I feel like they jump off the page now. It's amazing the difference pulling in a bright white highlight can make. This project here is almost done. I'm still not a huge fan of the chameleon colored pencils, but I do enjoy how this project turned out. I feel like I'm getting a bit of a better grip on them. And here is the finished project. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. If you have any comments, questions, feelings, or concerns, please let me know in that comment section down below. I look forward to hearing from you guys. If you want to see more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe. I do SketchBox unboxings and projects once a month. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day or night to watch this video and listen to me ramble. I greatly appreciate it. I look forward to hearing from you guys soon, and you'll definitely be hearing from me soon. Bye, everybody!